Hi, welcome to our live video today. I'm just waiting for the comments to come up and I'll wait a little while just to allow people to join. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Zoe Clark. I'm an osteopath and I have recently joined the NASS team to help on the helpline because understandably with the COVID-19 outbreak we're getting more inquiries not only about COVID but also about exercises and advice we can give you to help you because obviously we're less active at the moment, not able to go out as more, and a lot of people are working from home as well. One of the most common inquiries we've had so far is asking about rib pain and mid-back pain as well. So we thought it would be a good idea to come on live and go through a few exercises that you can try out live with us. Hi Julie, thanks for joining us. So if you have any questions at all as we go through, just pop it in the comment box and I'll either answer as we go through or I'll come back to them at the end. And obviously being an osteopath and also living with AS myself, I'm able to answer any questions about anything that you would like to ask me about. Also, if there's anything you'd like us to be covering on Facebook, on the website, any other videos or advice you would like, then please just leave us a suggestion because I'm here to provide as much help as I can. So as we go through these exercises, the most important thing is to listen to your body and only do whatever feels comfortable. With breathing exercises in particular, if you have any breathing problems, then please just take it gently. And obviously if your doctor has advised not to do breathing exercises, then either try very gently or don't do them at all. I'll go through around 5 different exercises and try them out as we go along, but also don't worry because the video will be saved and uploaded onto our Facebook page. And also we're going to do a write-up as well and publish that, so you'll have plenty of instructions to follow at a later date if you want to try them out again. Hi Sarah, thanks for joining as well. So yeah, as I said, any questions or comments, just pop them in the comment box and I'll either answer as we go through or I'll come back to them. So to start with, the best thing you can do with breathing exercises is to be wearing something loose and comfortable, particularly around the ribs and the stomach. You don't want anything too tight. Also, I'd advise not doing these if you've had a big meal recently, so leave it around about half an hour to an hour afterwards before doing these exercises. So if you're not in the right clothing or anything like that, either get changed or just come back and watch this video later on and do it then. The best positions to do these exercises are either sitting up, as I am. I'm currently on the floor just because it's where I get the best lighting in my flat, but either sitting up in a chair with a nice supportive back, or you can also do them lying down on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the bed as well. So whatever's most comfortable for you, just to help you follow along. So times of day, the best to do these exercises, really it's the best time of day is when it's easiest for you to do them and when you're more likely to do them as well. Because obviously with AS, the aim is to be doing exercises frequently, little and often. Some people find that first thing in the morning is best for them if they're a morning person, or sometimes in the evening just before going to sleep, particularly if you're having difficulty sleeping or if you're feeling stressed. They can be really nice to do just before going to bed, and then it helps promote some relaxation and help you drift off into sleep a little bit more easily. They can also be useful if you are working from home or if you're spending a lot of time sat down at the moment. It means that you can help get your ribs and your mid-back moving throughout the day, when normally when we're out and about a little bit more, we'd naturally be doing that by walking about. So the first exercise I'm going to go through is one of my favourite ones because it's relatively gentle, it's nice and easy to follow, and it also introduces you really feeling what your body is feeling and getting used to noticing the sensations when you're breathing. So it makes it a little bit easier when you then do the slightly more advanced exercises. So this first exercise, if you'd like to follow along, is called abdominal breathing, also known as belly breathing. So you can do this by placing your hand on your belly button and then the other hand on your chest bone, your sternum. So you start like this, and the aim with this exercise is that this top hand on your sternum is not going to move anywhere. The only hand that's moving is the bottom hand, which is over your belly button. So as you take a deep breath in, this top hand should be nice and still, and the bottom hand should move outwards as your belly almost fills up with air, as you're breathing the air right down into your lungs. And then as you breathe out, the hand should come in towards you and towards your spine as you're really sucking in your stomach muscles to help push that air out. So it's quite a strong exercise. So if you want to try with me, we can start. So again, just remembering, keep the top hand still and focus on moving that bottom hand out. So deep breath in, pushing the hand out, and deep breath out, sucking your stomach muscles in. And again, and you can do this as many times as feels comfortable. Just focusing on moving this bottom hand. And a couple more. And ideally with this exercise, you should really feel a bit of a stretch around the bottom of your ribs and around the back and around the front. You sometimes, if you do it too strongly, sometimes it can obviously pull the ribs a little bit. So just take it nice and gently when you first do it. The other thing to note as well is that it's going to be working on your stomach muscles too. So that's really important. And if you don't have much rib movement because of AS, it's okay, because it's still going to be promoting getting the lungs moving, getting the breathing going. And obviously at the moment when we're not as active and we're probably not getting our heart rate up and our breathing rate up as much as usual, that can be really helpful just to get things moving. So let me know in the comments how you found that. If you had any difficulties, just let me know and I can go through any advice for that. But essentially that's a really nice basic one just to get you used to feeling your body and the sensations as you do the breathing exercises. So the next exercise is a little bit more complicated because it involves counting. It's called box breathing, and it's also one which can, when you first start doing it, it can almost feel a little bit uncomfortable, because I'll be asking you to hold your breath when you've taken a breath in, but also holding your breath when you've released all the air out. And obviously we're not used to holding our breath when the air is out, so our instinct is to take that breath straight back in. So I'll go through it nice and slowly. I'll give you a little break and then we'll go through it once more just to make sure it's comfortable. So the method for this is I'm going to be using a count of up to 4. As you progress with this exercise and you want to make it stronger, you can count higher if you wish to, but 4 is quite a gentle number to start with. If you do have any breathing difficulties or generally get shallow of breath or anything, you can always count for 2 or 3 if that's more comfortable for you. So with the breathing for 4, we aim to take a deep breath in for 4 counts, and then we hold it for 4 counts, breathe out for 4, and hold it for 4. So everything's to 4. You breathing in, hold, breathing out, hold. So if you want to try that with me now, if you want to pop your hands on your belly just to really feel your belly moving still, that can be really helpful. And if you just want to count along with me or do your own number of breaths, feel free to as well. So we're going to be breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we'll take a little rest there in case that was a bit strong to start with. Again, let me know in the comments if you have any questions or problems with that exercise. So essentially, we're really using it to focus on our breathing and also control the breathing as well. So if you're feeling stressed or anxious, that's a particularly nice one, because with you focusing on the counting as well, it can be really good just at giving your mind something to focus on and getting your brain sort of back into your body and physical sensations. So if you're feeling stressed or anxious, that can be a really nice one. So we're going to do that once more, just to make sure everyone's comfortable and confident with that. Again, you can pop your hands on your stomach if you wish to, and count up to 4 or longer if you wish to. So we're going to start with breathing in. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. So that's just 2 rounds of it, but you can do as many as you wish to. I'd normally start with around 2 to 5 rounds to begin with, and then just gradually build that up over time, depending on how it feels for you and how experienced you are with it as well. With that one, it's not so much of a stretch through the ribs, but it's more of getting that control of the breathing and getting the circulation going a little bit more as well. So let me know if you had any problems with that or any questions, or if you particularly enjoyed that, just drop me a comment in the comment box. I'll just check that I'm up to date on those. Okay, brilliant. Oh, good. Someone, Michelle said it's very calming too. That's excellent. I think a particularly good one, because you're focusing on the counting. Again, it just sort of takes you out of your head and more into your body a little bit, which can be really helpful. Okay, brilliant. And Julie's asked, are these deep breaths in and out? Preferably yes. Just as I'm going through them in this in the live, it's probably not going to be quite as deep breaths, but once you're used to the techniques and you've got the technique sorted, then ideally you'd want to be taking nice deep breaths in and out. That's just going to make them a little bit stronger. If you do have any problems with your ribs or with your breathing, generally start with the more shallow breaths and then build it up to doing the deeper breaths, just so it's not too strong to begin with. Pam, yes, absolutely. So the video will stay up on the page afterwards, so you can come back and watch it then. And also we'll be doing some written instructions too, so you can read the instructions and follow them along afterwards. So absolutely, if you have to get back to work, then please just join us later. And it seems to take longer to breathe out. Yeah, in terms of the counting one, ideally the aim is that we're going to be controlling our breaths to be the same amount in and out. But sometimes it can be easier to breathe out for longer than it is for in, because particularly with AS, if you've got any stiffness in your ribs, then the breathing in sometimes is going to kind of restrict what you're taking in, whereas breathing out, you're going to be able to really use your abdominal muscles as well. So sometimes it feels like you're breathing out for a bit longer. Absolutely, though, with the breathing, with the counting the breaths, ideally we want to keep them around the same length. So sometimes you'll find that you end up breathing harder in order to get it down into the shorter time. But just play around with it and just see what works for you as well. If you need to take longer counts up to 6 or 8, then go for it. Okay, so the next exercise is wine glass arms, which does what it says on the tin. This is available on our YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't seen already, if you go onto YouTube and search National Axial Spondyloarthritis Society, we have loads of videos up there, not only information about AS, but also exercises as well. And this wine glass arm exercise is available there. So with this, the main thing we're doing is using our arms with our breathing. So we're not counting the breath this time. But as we breathe in, we're going to take our arms out to the side and up over our heads into a wine glass shape. And as we breathe out, we're going to bring the arms back down. So this is really going to promote really nice, big, deep breaths. It's going to get the shoulders moving. You're going to stretch through the muscles around the back and around the ribs as well. So it's a good stretch as well as a good exercise. If you have problems with your shoulders at all and reaching overhead, just go as far as is comfortable. Don't worry about pushing it too far. I'll just check the comments. Yep, absolutely, Nadia. If your ribs are restricted, then just go with what's comfortable for you. So any of these exercises, if it feels like it's putting too much pressure, then just reduce the strength that you do them or how long you do the breaths for as well, whatever makes it feel comfortable. If you find that actually it's just becoming more comfortable, particularly if you're flaring, sometimes these can be a little bit strong, then just stop and rest and just try them again later on in smaller amounts as well. Okay, good. And oh yes, so everyone's normal breathing pattern is to breathe out for slightly longer than in. Absolutely, yeah. So not just with AS. Jane, oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you, Jane, suggesting that everyone donates to NASS. That's very kind, thank you, absolutely. If you're able to, obviously, then that would be amazing, but don't feel the pressure. Yeah, and we've got a link to our YouTube channel in the comments now as well. Oh, Julie, yeah, the shoulder impingement, you don't want to be doing too much overhead. I would probably leave this one out. You can always follow with the breathing and not doing the arms, just we wouldn't want to aggravate the shoulder at all. Right, so to do this exercise, as I said, you're going to breathe in, bring the arms overhead into a wine glass shape, and then breathe out and rest the arms back down. We'll do 3 to 5 depending on how it's feeling, but if you want to do less, if it's feeling painful at all, then just stop. So we're ready in 3, 2, 1, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Now, depending on how that felt, if you want to make it stronger and you want to get more of a stretch through your spine and your back, as you breathe in and bring your arms up, you can imagine that there's a bit of string at the top of your head and someone's just gently pulling it up like a puppet. So as you bring the arms up, you then just elongate your back and bring your head towards the ceiling, and then relax down as you bring the arms down. So it's a very gentle, subtle movement, but essentially it's like you're trying to just lift up from the top of your head, trying to reach towards the ceiling and then come back down again. So if you'd like to try around three of those with the lifting up feeling, feel free to. If it felt strong enough just with bringing the arms up, then stick with that. So again, we're going to breathe in and lift up and breathe out. And breathing in, head towards the ceiling and breathe out. And one more time. So I particularly like that one because I tend to get a lot of discomfort through the front of my ribs and my mid-back at the same time. So that one where you're bringing the arms up and you're lifting up feels like a really nice stretch for me. Again, with that one, if you are experiencing a flare-up at the moment, it might be a bit strong. So you can always stick with the belly breathing we went through at the beginning, or the next one I'm going to go through, which is just more focusing on your breathing. So the breath focus is really nice. Similar to the counting your breath, this is really good for relaxation, for managing any stress or anxiety as well. It's all about taking your focus away from anything that's going on in your mind and bringing it back into your body. So it can be really nice respite if you've got a lot going on at the moment, which I know many of you all have. So with this one, it can be really nice to do this lying on your back, having your knees bent up and your feet flat. Particularly if you want to do it just before you go to sleep, it can be really nice just to help you drift off into a nice, deep, peaceful sleep. But you can do it sitting up if you wish to. You can even do it when you're up and out moving around, just to help you focus. Yeah, Nadia, absolutely. If you have disc problems in the neck, then doing anything that sort of brings the neck upwards and brings it up towards the ceiling is a really nice stretch for that. Obviously, if it feels like it twinges or it aggravates it at all, then stop that. But generally, anything that kind of stretches the neck can be really beneficial for that. Take it nice and slowly, see how it feels, but it may well help with that. If you can add it in with the arms as well, or you can even just do that sitting and just bringing it upright to have a play around with the movement and see if it's helpful. So in terms of the breath focus, as I said, we're going to be focusing on breathing, and we're going to be taking our concentration out of our head and back into our body. So either lying down or sitting up. You can place your hands on your belly just to help with that. But we're just going to take a few seconds just to sit, breathing completely normally, not changing our breath at all. And we're just going to sit and feel exactly how that feels and the sensations. So we're just going to sit and just breathing nice and normally. And now just take your focus to the top of your ribs and just think about how much they're moving. Feel your shoulders rising and falling at all. And then start thinking further down into your ribs and just seeing how that feels, if it feels tight anywhere. Again, not changing our breathing at all. And then take your focus out to the side of the ribs, and just seeing how that feels. Can you feel the ribs moving nice and easily? Do they feel tight? Now, once you're really aware of that and you sort of feel what's going on all around your ribs and your back, we're then going to try a few deep breaths. So we're going to do 5 of those in total. And again, we're just going to be thinking about those sensations. So I'll prompt you a little bit as we go through. So start taking a deep breath in now. And focus on how it feels up in your chest bone here, breathing out. And breathing in. How different does it feel for your shoulders and the top of your ribs? Breathing out. Breathing in again. And the sensations around your middle, breathing out. And finally, thinking about the sides of your ribs, to take a deep breath in. Feel them expanding a bit more and breathing out, feeling them coming down. So that's just an example of a few different areas you can think about as you're doing that. Generally, we'd cycle through that a few times. So you'd start with breathing completely normally and feeling the sensations that are going on. And you do around 5 deep breaths and feeling the difference there. So generally, you'll feel that your shoulders are moving a little bit more. Sometimes the top of your chest will move more. You should feel your belly moving out and your ribs coming out a little bit, as long as you don't have too many restrictions there. And then you go back to that normal breathing. And again, just sort of do that body scan again, see how it feels, if it's feeling different. And then you can cycle that as many times as you feel you wish to. Some people find that actually as they do this, if they're doing it in bed before going to sleep, they only get sort of around a couple of cycles before they're then drifting off to sleep, because it's really, really relaxing. As I said, for any kind of stress or anxiety or anything like that, it's a really nice one just to get you focusing back on your body and trying to just put everything out of your mind, ready to go to sleep or start your day if you do it first thing in the morning as well. So I particularly like that one if I'm feeling stressed or if I've got lots going on. It's a really nice one just to give your mind a little bit of a break. Okay, Nadia. So yeah, Nadia, if you can't lie flat, then I definitely recommend doing it in a seat with a cushion behind you to prop you up. You can also do it lying if you then use cushions, so you're at an angle if that's comfortable. But all of these exercises are versatile, can be done with both as well. Brilliant. Oh, Sarah, that's great. That's good to have a few breathing exercises as a break for work. As I said at the beginning, particularly if you work at a desk, that can be really, really helpful. So yeah, do come back to them, and you can catch up on this video later on, and we'll put together some written exercises as well. So you've got plenty of things to look back on and catch up on the next exercise we're doing as well. So this final one is a little bit stronger, and it's going to be working into the back as well. It's going to help to stretch out through the back. It's going to stretch out through the front of the shoulders as well. As always with any exercise, just take it nice and gently, particularly in the neck as well. If you have any neck problems, be cautious with this one, because ideally we're going to be bringing the head down. We're going to be bringing the head up towards the ceiling. So if you have any neck problems, blood pressure problems, anything like that, take it gently. So if you've done the cat stretch before, then you'll recognise this exercise. So cat stretch is normally done where you're on all fours. And then as you breathe in, you look up towards the ceiling and you arch your back down. So it's making like a downward shape. And then as you breathe out, you arch your back upwards and look down towards the floor. So you're going up like a cat arching. So we're going to use a wall to do this instead. So if you're near a wall, then go for it, use it. You can always do it without the wall if that's a bit awkward for you at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn side on so that I can demonstrate, and you're just going to have to imagine the wall there. So face away from you, I don't think it's going to make much sense. So with this one, hopefully you can still see me. I'll shuffle in a little bit. With this one, you want to start by placing your palms against the wall. So the wall would be about here for me. And with a cat stretch, as you breathe in, you look up towards the ceiling and you arch your back down. And then as you breathe out, you look down towards the floor and you round your back the other way. So we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be using the breath as well with the movement. So just take it nicely, nice and slowly. If it feels uncomfortable through your back or it feels too strong, then obviously stop. But ideally, we're going to do 3 to 5 of these depending on how it feels. So again, imagining the wall is there and I'm stood up against it. You want to take a deep breath in and look up towards the ceiling and arch your back backwards and breathe out and go the opposite way. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. If that's uncomfortable, you don't have to go as far. You can breathe in and breathe out and just do gentle movements. Breathing in, breathing out. So personally, I find if my ribs and my mid-back are flaring badly, that would be an absolute nightmare to do. So normally I wouldn't be doing that if I'm in a bad flare-up. if I've got a few niggles going on and a bit of stiffness and it feels like almost like the potential for a flare is coming on, that can be really helpful, doing very gentle movements little and often throughout the day, just because it gets the back moving, gets the ribs moving. If there's any inflammation going on there, it's going to help move that about and hopefully reduce that building up into a bigger flare as well. But certainly if you're in a big flare up at the moment, I'd advise being really gentle with that one. So how did you all find that one? Hopefully that was comfortable and not too strong as well. I'll just have a quick check up on the comments. Yeah, Michelle, absolutely. Just having, obviously it's not going to change our circumstances at the moment, but sometimes having some breathing exercises and things to focus on can be really helpful, just giving us a bit of a break from it, and that can be really helpful for anxiety. Yeah, Barbara, some people find that the cat stretch is too strong. Sometimes against the wall is easier because you've not got the weight through your arms and through your knees and hips as well. But if that's painful, then I'd avoid this one. Yeah, and arching backwards in particular is quite a difficult one sometimes with AS as well. Brilliant. Yes, yeah, yoga is fantastic, really relaxing, also really good exercise as well. So hopefully these will help you while you're missing your Drew yoga at the moment, Anne. Right, so they are all the exercises. They're all the ones we're going to be going through. A quick recap. So we started with the abdominal breathing, the belly breathings. That was keeping the hand at the top still and only moving the bottom hand. We then went through box breathing. So we're counting in, hold for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4 and holding for 4. We then did wine glass arms, and we had 2 variations. So one where you were just moving the arms with your breathing, and one where as you moved the arms, you were lifting your head up towards the ceiling, like you're a puppet on a string and you're being pulled gently up towards the ceiling. So that was a slightly stronger version. Then we tried the breath focus as well. That was just sitting and listening to our breathing and feeling the sensations through the body as well. And then we went into deeper breaths and again felt the sensations and focused on that to see how it felt, and then did that. We can do that a few times just to help sort of see how the sensations change with the different breathing types. Then finally we did the cat stretch against the wall. So again, hopefully that one wasn't too strong. So I hope that has been helpful for everyone, and thank you for everyone for joining. Absolutely, we'll be putting more exercises and advice together. So if you have any particular areas that you want us to focus on, any particular advice or help we can offer at the moment, please let us know. Yeah, absolutely, we can do some stuff for hip joints. There are so many different exercises for hips, so I can do a whole live on that probably and write that up in a blog as well. So I'll pop that on our to-do list. Yep, so yeah, it's mainly breathing, and then we'll be able to do other exercises later on as well. So I know that next week I'm going to be coming on live, I think again 1 p.m. on Wednesday, to talk about working from home with AS and giving you lots of tips and tricks to help with that. Also coming up, we're going to be looking at helping night pain with AS and things that we can help with to ease that, particularly at the moment where obviously the rheumatology checkups aren't as regular at the moment. So if you'd like to get in contact with me directly, I am available on the helpline every day, so I can give personalised advice, but also just feel free to drop me an email. It's zoe@nass.co.uk, and I can either arrange a call with you or send out exercises if that's helpful, and give advice again about working from home and all the things that osteopaths can advise on. So thank you for joining. I'll see if there's any other questions at all. Oh, brilliant, Louise. I'm glad you found that helpful. And yeah, I think when you're doing it with other people, it is a lot more enjoyable as well, particularly at the moment as we're not out and about mingling. Great, so let us know if there's anything else we can do. But otherwise, I'll see you next week. Take care and keep well, everyone.